if I potentially can wrap this up with a part five. I hope. I know. I'm looking at some of the other ads about like how disastrously CNN did last night with Trump's town hall. I don't know if I'm going to cover that. It was pretty bad. I did some live streams on Facebook if you want to see my like vague commentary. I like didn't do a lot, okay? Because it was so hard to watch. Um let's see how much time we have left on this video.
Does that apply to your children too?
Yes.
Okay. So you wouldn't do.
Would I do anything different? Oh yeah, I totally would. I would have listened to my elders. I would have taken her to go see a doctor.
Because that's what your parents were telling you.
You said your elders? Yeah, older people would say, oh, she's, like what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
So, how far back would you go when you would do something different? How far back would I go that I would do something different?
When would you taken her?
When would I have taken her?
Oh my god. Somebody turn off your goddamn phone. Who the hell goes into an interrogation room with the sound on your phone? I can't even, you guys. Oh my god. I'm gonna try not to add too much value. I'm doing air quotes right now to this video so we can wrap it up. But I do need to wrap it up because obviously I've already done 4 parts of it. But this crappy motherfucker who killed his child is now being they still haven't they still haven't even been read their Miranda rights, you guys. They've spoken to an attorney, but they don't have an attorney present. But it's obvious that they're going to get something because they malnourished their child to the point that she died of starvation, which is insane. I mean, kids are so resilient that even if you are a fucktard as a parent, you're probably going to get them through it, okay? But these people were so crappy. They were so over the top that they actually killed one of their kids and they malnourished 2 others of their kids. And they're like, oh no, they look fine. They're just skinny. That's just their body. Like, I know I'm a fat man and my wife's a beefy woman, but that's just the genes they got, right? Okay, let's go.
Knowing what you know today. Knowing what I know today, I would probably take all the kids to the doctor, at least for preliminary
Turn
stuff.
off your goddamn phone.
Looking back, was it a week ago? Was it 2 weeks ago? Was it 3 weeks ago? Was it a month ago? When would you have done something different? When you know, this didn't happen overnight. She didn't get this malnourished and skinny overnight. Okay? This is a lengthy process. Okay? And this has been going on for some time. That's what I'm asking. At what point, you knowing what you know today, if you could go back and reset the clock to try to prevent today, how far back do you think you would go? I don't know because I can't tell you. Maybe the first mention somebody had that I respected that she was too skinny. That she was too
How
fat.
long ago was that?
I don't know. Like I said, she's been skinny since she was 4.
So how many people have you respected have told you that?
My mom and
God.
my mom.
How was your dad? You probably figured dad's just bad your mom's plate?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So today,
Mom's a problem.
at what point today did you and or Tatiana think this doesn't look good? The size of her, all of this doesn't look good.
Today?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't. we kind of like woke up and she was dead. So
No, but I mean after that. We were thinking that this, like, as far as...
Well, we kind of woke up and she was dead. Right, fat man? I don't know. She was really skinny and shit because we weren't feeding her. We kind of just woke up and she was dead. Keep in mind, Tatiana's testimony was that she put her down for a nap at like 3:30, and they did not check on her again until 10 a.m. the next morning. We're talking about a 10-month-old, y'all. And she claims to be breastfeeding, has no signs of it. She does not appear... here we are. We're over 2 hours into the two of them getting an interrogation, and she is still not displaying any distress of needing to empty her breasts of breast milk. She's not fucking breastfeeding, you guys.
It doesn't look good that we didn't get her the medical treatment or whatever. At what point today did you think that?
I don't know. I guess I haven't really worried about it too much.
Okay. Did mom feel concerned because of she knew the weight was so low, or what was your discussion like with her about that?
Yeah, she just mentioned that she's skinny. Okay. But you know, the thing is that it's like, yeah, she's skinny, but that would be like the only thing. It's like, okay, she's not skinny and then she'd be fat. And it's just like, you know, everybody's always got something to nitpick about a baby kind of thing.
No, you're right about that. But Seth, there is a difference. And I have pictures. There is a difference between...
Oh, God, please don't show me.
No, I know. She was thin.
No, wasn't thin.
Yes, sir, I know. I picked her up. I know how skinny she was. It used to hurt.
God.
What am I going to do? Like inject her with liposuction?
What?
And what are the doctors going to do? But
Liposuction is a procedure to remove fat. I can't even. This motherfucking fat ass bitch who is sitting across the table from these investigators is talking about liposuction in regards to basically what he did to create a scenario for his baby, his youngest child, to be like an Ethiopian. And I mean, like, the investigators said that they could see her intestines under her skin, that she was that malnourished. They could see her spine protruding from her back. That her legs were like the size of their fingers at age 10 months. And this fat ass motherfucker, who probably was eating pizza every night and beer, I don't know what he was eating, but obviously he was eating a lot of calories. He was certainly eating probably 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day to look like that. That motherfucker probably weighs about 300 to 400 pounds.
Because here's the thing. You know what the leading cause of death in this country is, don't you? Yeah, it's medical malpractice.
Yeah, it is. I'll give you that.
It's more dangerous. It's more dangerous to take your kid to the doctor than
That's not what most people think. Most people think it's nuts, but I get what you're saying.
There you go.
No, I get what you're saying, because there's some stats that go along with some of this. But here's what I'm saying, though, is that in this case, when we know, because I know you guys are doing what you're saying you're doing. I know you're feeding them protein. We can see it. We're not down either. We can look around the house and these guys are piling food in this girl. So when that's not working, then we know there's something. There's Crohn's disease, there's diabetes. There is a disease that has to be, that's not allowing this girl to absorb the nutrients for these foods. And you know that.
Yeah, you're correct. I do know that. I guess I never thought of it. Where there's no family history. Like I said, recently.
What?
Regardless of what the pictures show, you know, people who've been around her for 10 months, you know, commented. We all noticed that she was getting bigger, so I was just like, oh, finally, okay, we're through that stage. I was worried for a little bit there, but
having enablers in your life does not mean you're a good person. Dumb ass fat bitch. You clearly were eating all the food and starving your kids. Having enablers in your life I can't even, because I literally I don't want to go too deep, but I've seen this within my own family network of people who enable abusers within my family network too. And I'm just like, why are you doing this? Why do you keep supporting the people who are incredibly toxic within this family? Like, can't you instruct them? Isn't that your purpose as a relative? Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Is actually like say, hey, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't be doing that. Oh my God.
She's putting on the weight now. She's clearly getting heavier. So I kind of thought we were through it.
Wow.
Let me ask you an honest answer. Do you feel responsible in any way for what happened today?
Huh.
I feel like that's a bit of a trap question, but no. Or do you just say honest, or do you think it's just God's will? Or just because it might be God's will doesn't mean that there's not that it's not His will according to our actions, or it doesn't mean that we are not responsible in some way for what has come about. And so, I take responsibility on myself.
You killed your daughter, for fuck's sake.
For anything that goes wrong in my life at all, even if it's totally not my fault. What could I have done?
Shut the fuck up, Seth. Oh my God. He does not take responsibility for himself the way he's claiming to. You can see that as he makes sure to mention the fact that he does that, even when things aren't his fault. It's important that he tells people that he is a good person, that he is morally just and able to take responsibility. But it's also important that people know that most of the time, he doesn't need to do that because things just happen to him, rather than the other way around. We can also see this in what he has said in the interview. He doesn't take responsibility for CPS being called by the doctors on his firstborn because she was malnourished. Instead, he says it was all a farce. The interview wraps up there, and Seth is allowed to see Tatiana. I'm going to play their conversation in full, as it's incredibly disturbing.
Oh no.
I'll
By the way, that was one of the best jump-ins, JCS. That was one of the best jump-ins ever. Shut the fuck up. That was so good. All right, let's see how these bitches act together. And they know they're on camera. They can't possibly be unaware that they're on camera without an attorney acting like stupid assholes. Let's go.
If you just a couple minutes, okay? Yeah. Hi, baby. Hi. How you doing?
How are you doing?
How are you?
We just lost our baby.
Happy that I'm with you now. Me too.
It's about you and me, because we just killed our baby.
Did you talk to your parents at all while you were waiting? After what's going on? Yeah,
We're going to still stay married, you guys. It's going to be okay.
because we're such bad parents.
Yeah, you are.
Not even allowed to talk to them.
Yeah, you do. You think it's over? This is good, you guys. This is rich. Oh my God. We don't have to talk to them anymore. You guys are so fucking screwed. Oh my God.
It has to be all about the kids. All three of them: birth, weight, height, eating habits, and developmental skills.
I know you fat motherfuckers starved your kids, you know.
Really go to your pee and poop. And then I think that was a distraction, because right after that I was just like, why did it take you so long to call? I just kept berating with that and wouldn't let me answer.
So you told me what?
To call the police after.
You need to express your breasts yet?
I told you like 6 times. I was waiting for the lawyer to be there because we knew that this would happen.
So I told them we were waiting for. We could see your parents, but I said lawyers. And we were just. Then what'd you do while you were waiting? I called off work. I
Oh.
Slept, and I sat and cried.
Oh my God, she called off work. So these dumbass bitches who are fat as fuck and starve their children. She's like, oh, I had to call off work. Sorry, bitch, you fucking you starved your kid to death. What the fuck, even? This is, by the way, what like codependent relationships look like. This is like, okay, so she had. Let's go way back to part one, right? She had a very troubled youth, right? And he was raised in a very conservative, probably Pentecostal sort of situation. And the two of them ended up fucking killing one of their kids and malnourishing all of their kids. And here they are acting like the craziest ass bitch couple. You fat fuckers. How much pizza and beer did you eat? Fuck's sake.
Then listen to this, baby. You know, their job is to fill cells. It's their job.
Oh, here we go.
So they can fill 2 cells right now. And that's maybe they were angry. Like it sounded like they were trying.
I agree with Hassan Piker on this position that people who actually murder other people should be in cells. People who get caught with weed on them should just have like community service. Like there's a big difference between how you should be punished based on your crimes. These two ass motherfuckers are actually trying to pull, and this is what Trump and all of the right wing is trying to do right now too, is like pull in the leftist arguments of, hey, you know, you shouldn't come down so hard on people of color for dumbass things like having marijuana on their possession. And these assholes are trying to compare it to fucking murdering a 10-month-old. Oh my God.
Like a movie might, but like separate us. That's what they're doing. Trying to drive a wedge in between and then hope somebody accuses the other one. That's why they came at you first. Because they know them. They can tell by looking at me. Yeah. They can do shit to me.
I want to know
so
the
if I'm going to
sentence.
break down and accuse you, me is who they're looking for. We go home and we get really baked, and I really like to not talk about it at all anymore today. Okay.
Oh, right.
It's so terrible. Can't ever do this again. We at least gotta take her. There's problems. We gotta take him to the doctor at least to see. Okay. Yep.
What a performance. Oh my goodness.
I was counting down. It's hilarious. I think they must have heard me on the phone. Because I told my mom at 7:30, I'm getting up out of here. Getting us out of here. And that's exactly when they came through the door to come talk to me. Wow. Yeah, I was like, I'll wait till 7:30, but we're not under arrest. I'm not being charged. I'm here under my own compulsion. You know.
Not for
I'm free
long,
to go.
bitch.
So. Your parents are still there? No, they went home. They had to go meet with a CPS worker in Grand Haven. Oh, wow. But they can still get them? Yeah. No, I was just about to walk out of there when he said, hey, come on down here. So I was going to be like, oh, he said 5 minutes. It's going to be another 2 hours. And, phone outside the door. Oh, you did? Yeah, and I went out, I got it. They're going to let you just hold me in here indefinitely with my permission while leaving me communication with. I saw the papers and the bottle cap and the lighters out there. They told me to grab some escort me to the bathroom. It was like 20, 30 minutes.
The irony is they haven't actually been charged with anything yet. They have not been read their Miranda rights. They have not asked an attorney to come into the room. So they literally could, at this point, walk out of the police department. They literally could do this. But instead, they want to put on some sort of dramatic, it's like a what do they call that? Melodrama, right? They're putting on a melodrama for us in front of the camera because they know they're being recorded, which is so fucking bizarre. Like, you could literally, at this point, you have not been charged with anything. You could walk the fuck out of the room right the hell now. And there you sit. I know, like, I've been capturing so many of these videos, I'm losing storage footage. Let's go.
Let's open the door. They're trying to make you seem a lot more like a prisoner than you really are. Right now, you're under your own compulsion, and I'm not sure. Yeah, it's really not much they can do.
Oh my God, this is such a bizarre relationship. They could literally knock on the door and say, "We're leaving." This is such a bizarre relationship right now. This is codependency, you guys. This is what it looks like. They just like envelop themselves in like melodramatic situations. This is so weird to watch. Oh my God.
I want to walk out right now. We're doing this as a show.
Mm-hmm.
And not even for them, but for probably when we have to go up in front of a judge.
So then walk out of the room.
It's all they want to charge. They want somebody. There's got to be money involved. There's got to be a financial transaction.
What?
You can't just bury a dead body.
No, there does not have to be money involved when you've killed an infant. Oh my God, this guy's crazy. But like, you can see like how their relationship works. Like, he's absolutely manipulating her. She's susceptible to manipulation because she had a really rough childhood. And the two of them ended up killing one of their children. Unintentionally, but definitely without any remorse. Wow, this is crazy to watch. Let's watch this.
Gotta pay somebody.
Gotta pay somebody. Because he's a conspiracy theorist.
They're making me feel ashamed. And they're like, we know you're a good person. But this is the worst case we've ever seen. Like, what are you doing here, guy?
Oh my God.
I don't know what to say. You know, like, he wasn't junk full of growth hormones and steroids. I'm sorry, you know. You think I'm happy about it?
I honestly, for all you out there complaining about incels, obviously incels can even get bitches. Why the hell is she even with this motherfucker? And she had 3 children with him? Even incels can get bitches. Come on now.
These are authentic. Yeah, they were kind of like pushing me about the whole doctor thing. I was like, you know what the number one leading cause of death in this country is?
It's gun violence, asshole.
Stop. They were only there with me for about like 10 minutes. Was it? They were trying to squeeze you and get you to say something. But I did something. It didn't work. Just because they were in here for so long.
You assholes. You are fucking murderers, and you're sitting there doing a melodrama for the fucking sheriff.
So they took my phone, too. They have it right now. No. Tomorrow's Friday, great. Friday weekend.
Oh my god.
You should have told me. You're really interested in me getting it. Huh? You're really interested in me getting it. I'd like to know where it is. It's for you. Dang. Like, you treat me like it's a murder case, man. It's an accident. I don't know what was putting somebody in jail gonna do. Right. It's gonna fill a cell. That's what they're here to do. For-profit corporations.
Right, okay. Mm-hmm.
Somebody nonverbal. Who? Somebody. I said, you haven't spoken to him. He may have been shy, but he hasn't interacted with anybody, so he wasn't interacted with to be verbal. Just put me on fucking trial. I'll put the whole system on trial. Put me on trial. You know, I'm not here fucking with.
Alright, okay, let's make a bet right here. Let's make a bet right here that this guy is going to try and claim that he's a sovereign citizen. Let's go.
Especially with big sister teaching him. Excited. So you gotta understand with cops, they're not really like, they're just trying to get somebody to confess to a crime. That's all they're trying to do. They don't care if they lie. They don't care how they make it. They don't care. So you just don't take it personally. You just, yep, whatever. I don't care what you think. That was nice. Probably. I don't care. They want something so bad, but they don't want to have anything. They could get negligent, and child endangerment and theft. Which, have fun. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried to go to court about that with my mom. Okay. I'm not. Purple no leaves for your mom. Just doesn't bother me. I don't want to, but I'm also not from. It's not so bad. Oh, goodness. I don't want to right now. Do I think that God told you? Oh no, if God told you to murder one of our children, would I let you do it? That would never happen. Why would you even ask me that? It's like, just saying, I know you mentioned believe or something you would do. It's like, that's not a quote. No, next. Yeah, they try to work the religious extremist angle with me too. So
Okay, so she has now been there for probably close to 3 hours and is still having no discomfort from milk buildup in her breasts. These fucking liars. Let's go.
Hmm? Yeah, I can also tell you think I'm a total dumbass.
Look at how flat that chick is. Give me a break.
They're just here to help, Tommy. Just remember that they're just here to help. Well, yeah, I tell you, if you didn't say it so much, I'd maybe believe you. Who you trying to convince?
Oh my god, these clowns. This is like watching natural born killers.
Yeah. Yeah, I was not going to let us sit in these rooms all night without calling my mom and seeing what I could do.
Okay, here we go.
You would
here we
think that with the depth and breadth of the evidence against the two parents, that they would understand that they were responsible for their child's death. But that is not the case. We've talked a bit about cognitive distortions on the channel before, specifically involving cases where a person repeatedly harmed others, only to repeatedly state that they are not a bad person. Cognitive distortion is a term used in psychology to describe patterns of thinking that are inaccurate or irrational, and not fully based in reality. These patterns can lead to negative emotions and behaviors, and can interfere with a person's ability to cope with stress and navigate life's challenges. Seth and Tatiana both believed that they were good parents, and that their children, as sick and underfed as they were healthy. They were neglecting their children by anyone's standards, but in their minds, all of their actions were justified and good. This led them to believing any person expressing that they should feed their children more or being concerned for their well-being were malicious, bad actors. Seth in particular refused to state that his actions, or rather his inaction with his own children, led to Mary's death. When the two were given their sentence, it was explained to Seth that he would be charged with Mary.
I was really hoping that they were not going to give us a picture. I was really hoping they weren't going to give us a picture, but that looks like a picture of a newborn. And I have a feeling that's a picture of the 10-month-old. Oh my god. That looks like a preemie. You guys. Holy shit.
His murder. He acted shocked and appalled, with his jaw literally dropping when the charges were explained to him.
In Solon Township, that you're both charged with what they call felony murder while in the perpetration or attempted perpetration of child abuse in the first degree. They're alleging that you murdered one Mary Welch. That is a charge called homicide felony murder. It is life without parole.
Good.
It requires a DNA sample to be taken upon arrest, which is often like a cotton swab or in the inside of your cheek. The second offense that you're both charged with is called child abuse in the first degree, where they're alleging you knowingly or intentionally caused serious physical harm to a child. They're talking about this Mary Welch. It is a felony, possible penalty of up to life imprisonment or any term of years less than life. Now those are the two separate felony charges.
His lawyer would go on to tell multiple press outlets that Seth felt as if he were being punished for his religious beliefs. Seth would go on to do an interview with Wood TV, a local news channel, to speak on how the case was being reported on. Like before, he would refuse to accept responsibility for any reports made about his family to CPS. Seth would state that he was being blamed not because he did anything.
Let me explain to you all right now why this is like the perfect explanation of what's going on with Republicans right now. During the pandemic, they also displayed these types of mental illness type of beliefs where they were unwilling to wear masks. They were sending their kids into the neighborhood. There was a lot of destruction. There was a lot of vandalism, and there was a lot of harassing businesses, harassing people in their communities, um, increase in attacking people of color, and so on and so forth. And the jaw dropping moment there is that, oh my God, I'm wrong? Yeah, you're wrong. You're fucking wrong. Okay? you're all fucking wrong. And because of your dumbass actions, over 1 million people died in America because of the pandemic. In this case, it's much more blatant because they killed their own child. But that is how you've been behaving, and that's what we all perceive you to be when you try and bust into businesses during a pandemic, when you try and force kids back to school during a pandemic, when you try and tell the elderly that they need to come out and reopen the economy, when you harass your neighbors because you disagree with their political beliefs, and when you attack people of color on the street and try and rough them up, right? That's what the rest of us see. That's what the rest of us see, is you being fucked up in the head and doing all kinds of crazy shit.
Wrong, but because of his faith. By the time this interview would take place, Seth had begun delving into religion more than he had previously done, and throughout, began to use scripture to excuse his behavior. He also claimed that anyone who spoke ill of him and the police would be punished by God for their actions.
Hello, Seth.
Greetings, sir. What can I do for you?
Hi, Seth. This is Leon Hendricks. I'm a reporter from Wood TV, and we've been obviously reporting on what's going on with you, and
Yes, so I've been informed. You've been making reports of some sort.
so that's why we're contacting you. Obviously, we only have what the police have
Yes, I would advise you to be careful what you say from here on out. You will answer to the Lord for everything that is said against me.
Okay, Seth, we're
And
recording
his
this for
people.
a story. I
That's
wanna give
fine.
you a
You go
chance to-
ahead and record it, sir.
What do you want people to know?
This dude is making threats. He's literally fucking making threats right now. Of course, they're abstract, right? That this is like a religious threat that God's going to come down on anybody who challenges his ability to fucking murder his child through starvation. Really? You fucking fat piece of shit who starved your kid while pumping your own body up like that? This is wild. This is wild, you guys.
About this situation, and obviously you're in jail and you could be there for the rest of your life. What do you want people to know about what happened, and do you feel like you're being justly treated?
Am I being justly treated on the inside? Yes, I am very thankful for the conditions that could be much worse. I believe I'm being unfairly charged and being made an example of for my very strong faith.
You know, the irony of this is he gets free health care now. Motherfucker doesn't trust the healthcare industry. And now he's getting free healthcare, free food, free gym. You know, like this guy can like earn a degree right now. And he's like, well, yeah, I'm treated well on the inside, but I shouldn't be here. That's exactly where you should be. You're a danger to society. And if there's any such thing to reforming people, it's by providing them those types of services that you completely disagreed with because you're a religious zealot. All right, let's go.
And the trying times that are ahead and being made an example of.
Dumbass.
So what really happened? Why do you feel like you're
I'll tell you exactly, sir, what really happened.
Okay.
My wife put every day before my wife goes to work, she completely drains her breast milk into our daughter. She puts her down for a nap. It's been a normal protocol for our children when they're going through growth spurts to sleep for even 16 to 18 hours. So I checked on her checked on.
Okay, parents, does that sound normal to you? Does that sound normal to you that your kids are sleeping for 16 to 18 hours? Because as a parent, that does not sound normal to me whatsoever. Who the fuck, like, how did he come up with that? Like, I mean, obviously, he's been starving his kids so severely that they are lethargic. Oh my God.
On her throughout the evening. My wife gets home from work at about 11:30. And,
Not anymore.
sorry, it's a little tough to talk about. It's still pretty raw. So I checked on her. She's still sleeping. If you put a baby down with a full tummy and a clean diaper, generally my policy is not to wake them up. I let them wake themselves up. I've never had a problem with a child not waking up when they were hungry or had a wet diaper or anything like that. So my wife came home and checked on her at 11:30. Said she peeked through the door and saw her, move or noticed.
Nope, that's not what she said in her interrogation video. She said that you all put her down around 3 p.m. and did not check on her again until 10 a.m. the next day. So you're a fucking liar, asshole.
That she was, still alive, but not crying or anything like that. So often, if there's a noise at the door, the baby will shift or something like that. I was up. I wasn't feeling very well myself that night, and so I got up. I was up at about 2 o'clock. Still didn't hear anything from the baby. I went to her door at about 3 o'clock. Listened at her door, and it's dark in there, obviously. So no crying. Okay. Went back to bed. I got up again at 5. I wasn't feeling well. I had, let's just say, diarrhea. And so, I kept getting up and listened.
Dude drinks. Let's be real.
Again? No? Okay. I finally fell asleep, I don't know, maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock. And, I didn't get out of bed again until honestly, I think until my wife came back and told me that she was dead. My wife had gone right up the street real quick to go pick up some clothes from the neighbor's house, and then she said, okay, that's enough sleep time for Mary. It's time to wake up now. That's quite enough. It's been a long time. And so she went in there, and she rushed back into the room to tell me that Mary wasn't breathing, and I shot out of bed like a rocket, and we rushed into her room, and my wife began to...
Not only did she not check on her immediately when she woke up, and she hadn't checked on her since 3 in the afternoon the day before, but then she tried to pull the SIDS card during her interview, which is some bullshit. She's like, there was nothing in the crib. Oh, wait a minute. There was a polar bear. I had a blanket in there, but it was all the way down by her feet. Right? She was constantly changing up her story, and so was he. They had some similarities in their story, but their timelines did not align. And clearly, they starved the kid to death, and they were trying to figure out excuses out of this. And this guy is acting like he's so persecuted because of his religious beliefs. Shut the fuck up. You didn't take care of your kids. And you're a fat motherfucker who clearly was feeding yourself when you weren't feeding your kids.
Attempt to perform CPR. But I could tell from looking at Mary, I could tell because her skin was gray, her cheeks looked sunken, like they weren't when we put her to bed. I knew she was dead.
So are you saying that you had no idea before this that something was wrong with Mary?
No, she was a skinny girl. But everybody in my family's always been skinny. I know it's hard to...
The interrogator described her as, at 10 months, having legs that were the size of his fingers. That's not a skinny girl. That is a child that is so malnourished that she's experiencing muscle atrophy and probably a lot of other complications as a result to being starved.
Believe with our current condition, middle daughter, Elizabeth, of this marriage, was a very skinny girl when she was growing up, and now she's bigger than some 6-year-old boys.
Mary was 8 pounds at 10 months. My son was 14 pounds plus ounces at 2 months. Give me a goddamn break.
So I didn't really think anything of it. In the Bible, it says that good food is our medicine, so we fed her. We were feeding her chicken, potatoes, apples, cheese. I mean, we were giving her the good stuff, and then also combined with breast milk.
How did you actually prepare this food? Did you prepare it for a baby? Did you actually put it like in a food processor where it would be all chopped up like baby food? Because it would have been better for you if you just fed her Gerber. But apparently you were doing something wrong because she clearly was not digesting whatever you claim you were trying to feed her.
Milk. And she died. It's a tragedy. The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh. In the Bible, it says that we are not to use sorcery. The original Greek word for sorcery is pharmakeia, which is easily translated into our modern word for pharmacy, which is all the use of pharmaceutical drugs including, like things like vac.
This guy is so fucking crazy. Okay, so I'm going to say it right now. Folks, if you watch my channel, you can't jump on board with bullshit people like this. Marianne Williamson does this shit. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. does this shit. The entire fucking MAGA Republican Party does this shit. Please don't kill your kids. Because that's what's happening here. That's why we have school shootings. That's why we have dumbass people like this fucking starving their kids. Guys, I'm not against religion. If you are taking the actual message of Jesus to love thy neighbor and turn the other cheek. But if you're going to be like, well, I starved my kid to death, so therefore that's God's will. I'm sorry, but there's personal accountability, and if you're afraid of Judgment Day, y'all should be fucking scared, because this is some bullshit right here.
Vaccines, which even have ingredients containing aborted fetuses, and all sorts of toxic chemicals, which are causing allergic reactions and in some cases deaths. Amongst the populace, and the more that is they are being injected into the populace, I think the results are pretty clear.
I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic, but I kind of honestly at this point hope this motherfucker dies of COVID in prison. Honestly, okay, so he's probably already going to get attacked for the fact that he killed his infant daughter, right? He's the other inmates, although they might have him in like solitary confinement or something like that. But if they don't get him, I hope COVID does, because this is some bullshit.
People are getting more and more sick. There's more and more allergies. There's more and more, physical maladies. Mm-hmm. So, yes, we did the best we could for Mary according to our faith. We fed her good food. We gave her water. We gave her lots of love. She passed.
Oh,
it's a terrible tragedy.
Anything that you did wrong here?
No.
Did she look like, that she was at risk of starving to death?
No.
You're saying she looked like
if it was that drastic, we would have done something. We would have at least found a doctor who would be willing to practice, things in a...
Bitch, you didn't even contract a midwife for this. Give me a goddamn break, you fucking asshole. You killed a little kid. You killed a 10-month-old baby. And you're like, I don't know. Well, she looked fine. She had stick legs. Her spine was protruding out. Her intestines were obvious. I occasionally changed her diaper. This fat asshole killed a 10-month-old baby while he's eating pizza and drinking beer, probably.
Way that is compatible with our beliefs, but no, we did not think that she would perish. Oh, I mean, you have to understand, sir, she wasn't sick. She didn't have like a history. You know, when people starve to death, they get sick. You know, she wasn't crying. Like I said, we checked on her periodically through the night. And every time she's cried.
Do you think maybe she might have checked out because she was dying, you fucking fat asshole? Do you think she might have checked out and just accepted her consequences and realized that she couldn't do anything about it because you didn't fucking pick her up when she cried?
She wakes us up, both me and my wife. My wife has radar for it. I mean, she's a tremendous mother, and we will provide many witnesses in our court case to attest to that. She just died, sir. And
she just died.
We provided everything for her, and we have all the evidence to prove it. We have witnesses to prove how loving and caring of parents we were. And sometimes tragedies in this life happen.
In prison, dude. You're such an asshole. You killed a 10-month-old.
Wish you would have done anything differently?
You know, it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback, but then when I think, you know, we did everything we could, according to our beliefs, to maintain her. She didn't show any signs of being sick or on the edge of death. And so, you know, of course, if there was something that I could come up with that I could have done to make sure that she was still here today, of course. I cry about this every single night. We had our family had such a great life on our farm together. And it's all been torn apart.
Oh, poor baby.
But I don't know what else righteously I could do, because in the scriptures it says that the faithless and the cowardly will be torn apart and sent to hell along with the adulterers and the liars and the murderers. So we had to stand on it. We had to stand on doing as we were instructed.
How many other kids do you have?
I have one, 7 turning 8. Sorry, I just have to do the math real quick in my head. Daughter with my high school girlfriend, and then I have a 4-year-old with my wife, and a 2 going on 3-year-old with my wife. The older 2 are both daughters. The younger is a son. Both of my other 2 children that I have with my wife are absolute examples of good health, of the love and care we show our children, of the effort we put into parenting and the care we put into parenting. They are, especially my older.
This is an example of how these people can lie to your fucking face, and you're like, oh, sure, okay, I'm gonna just accept his word. This guy is lying to your fucking face. He has been starving his kids. They already just did a whole fucking program on this, which I am doing in 5 parts. He lied. And that's what Republicans do too. And yet there are still people out there who are like, yep, I'll vote for Trump. You people are mentally sick. Okay? You're mentally sick.
Daughter is I mean, she's 4 years old and she reads and writes. They've never, yes, it says in the CPS report, they don't see the doctor. They never get sick. I mean, they'll get a sniffle for a day kind of thing, and we give them their vegetables, and we give them their water, and we give them their rest, and we give them their prayer, and the next morning, they're all better. And so we did the exact same thing with Mary that we did with our other two children, who turned out just fine. Even better than just fine, many people will tell you.
Malnourished.
I'm sure you're aware that Christians every day follow what is known normal protocol after a child's born, taking them to the pediatrician regularly. They get weighed. They get an idea if they're at risk for these kinds of things. Christians do that all the time. Why didn't you?
Well, without passing judgment on any one person or their situation, Jesus Christ himself did say that many do honor with their lips, but their hearts are far from him. So, you know, just because someone identifies as a Christian, it doesn't really mean anything. What counts is whether or not you're really actually physically...
Dude, you're talking about yourself right now. You're talking about yourself right now. Jesus wanted us to advance civilization, to protect the impoverished, to make sure that people got healed. And you're preventing your own children from being healed. What a goddamn clown.
Manifesting the teachings of Christ.
Was it
if you're actually obeying, because, excuse me, sir, there are many people who claim to be Christian who think it's okay to lie, who think it's okay to kill. But Jesus Christ said that these activities...
You literally killed. You dumbass. You literally killed. The rest of us haven't. We have never done this bullshit. We have never lied to the capacity that you have lied. And yet you're like trying to flip this shit on us? I can't even with this guy. Oh my God.
These are not acceptable. And that people who do them will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. And that they will be cast into hell. So you see, somebody can't just claim to be a Christian. It's not that easy. It's not that simple. You have to actually then also live up to the teachings of Christ. He's called rabbi. He's called teacher because he has a certain discipline, which is why his followers are called disciples. So we must follow in his teachings and his discipline. And he said we are not to use pharmakeia.
Are you concerned?
I gotta stop here because I gotta clip it, you guys. I'll give you like the last couple of minutes.